Narcos made it look like a lifestyle. The mansions, the hippos, the man who was so rich he burned $2 million just to keep his daughter warm. That was one man, one era, one myth. The reality of the Colombian Cartel never looked like Pablo Escobar. It looked like a 13-year-old boy on a Medellin street corner making $50 a week and thinking he just found a way out. Today, we follow the money. Every rank, every dollar, every consequence. From $50 all the way to $10 billion. Let's get into it. You're 13 years old in one of Medellin's hillside comunas. The city below is gleaming. Shopping malls, coffee shops, universities. But up here, the streets are steep and narrow, and everybody already knows who really runs this neighborhood. They've known since before you were born. An older kid from your street approaches you one afternoon, the one whose family went from nothing to a new television in 3 months. He doesn't recruit you, he just asks you a question.
You see anything strange on this corner today?
You say no, he hands you a folded bill, walks away. That's it. That's how it starts. Your job is simple. You watch, you call. DAS intelligence vehicle on the hill, you call. Strange face on the block, you call. Anything that feels wrong, you call. $50 a week. To a kid whose family skips meals, that isn't cartel money. That's your mother not crying on the last day of the month. So you come back. And here's what nobody tells you. While you're watching the street is watching you. How you handle pressure. Whether your mouth stays shut. Whether your eyes stay sharp after 6 hours of nothing happening.
The Campanero isn't just a lookout.
It's an audition. And you don't even know you're performing. You're 16. Same man, different conversation. This time, he doesn't ask questions. He hands you a package and an address and looks at you like the matter is already settled.
It is.
You tuck it under your jacket and step into Medellin streets. Your route takes you through El Poblado, the wealthy side of the city. The lawyers, the businessmen, the people who condemned the cartel publicly and funded privately.
3 kilometers, $40. 20 minutes.
The first time your hands shake, the entire walk, you develop a rhythm. Not too fast, not too slow. Eyes forward. Look bored, look like a kid, with nowhere important to be. You deliver it, you get paid, you go home. Then he calls again. The fear that gripped you the first time starts dulling by the 3rd. By the 10th, it's just routine. And that right there is the most dangerous moment of your entire career. Not the walks, not the police checkpoints. The moment the fear stops. Because fear was the only thing keeping you sharp. Within 8 months, you've saved $3,000. You buy your mother a refrigerator. She weeps when it arrives. 3 mullahs from your block were arrested this year. One was your closest friend. He's in La Picota prison in Bogota, staring at 15 years. The cartel didn't send a lawyer. They found another 16-year-old.
You're 19, and this time the man doesn't hand you a package. He hands you a photograph. No long speech, no explanation. You've been in this life long enough to know exactly what this moment is. You've seen it coming since you were 13 years old. $300. You do it. Afterward, you sit in your apartment for 2 days straight, not eating, not sleeping. Something has shifted behind your eyes that you don't have a name for. You will spend years looking for that name. But the phone rings again. And here's the thing nobody warns you about. The second job is easier than the first. Not easy, but easier. The third easier than the second. Your mind will normalize anything given enough repetition. That's not weakness. That's just how human beings survive unbearable things. Within a year, 11 jobs, $40,000, a motorcycle, a reputation. But here's what that reputation actually costs you. Rivals know your face, police have your description, and the organization that handed you that first photograph now sees something inconvenient when they look at you. A young man who knows too much, who costs too much, who's too visible to keep around comfortably. In Colombia, there's a word, desechable, disposable. You just became one.
You're 23.
You're not pulling triggers anymore. You're managing. 6 men under you, a territory, a monthly operation that prints more money than you ever imagined touching.
And for the first time,
You start spending. There is a character that exists nowhere else on earth like the Colombian Traqueto, the man who got rich dirty and needs the street to feel it. Versace to midnight meetings, a customized SUV with a sound system worth more than most people's homes, a house in Envigado filled with Italian marble, and a portrait of the Virgin Mary the size of a wall. You are glowing in the dark.
every rival can see you. Every informant can find you. Every investigator has your address before you finish decorating.
And while you perform wealth, the men above you are completely invisible. Plain clothes, ordinary cars, front companies, construction firms, moving hundreds of millions without a single gold chain in sight.
They learned that lesson from the Cali cartel's collapse.
You never got the memo. One morning, the Colombian National Police are on your lawn. Handcuffs on, $500,000 gone in legal fees within a year.
The organization promoted someone quieter into your territory before the police car door closed.
You control a city now. Not officially. Not on any document that exists anywhere. But the police chief knows, the Port Authority officers at Buenaventura know, the local judges know. They all know whose phone call they cannot ignore. Buenaventura, Colombia's most important Pacific port. More cocaine moves through the city toward Europe and the United States than almost anywhere else on Earth. And you own a piece of every shipment that touches it.
You don't handle product. You handle people. Judges cost $40,000. Port inspectors cost $2,000 a month. A colonel in the Colombian military costs significantly more, but he's worth every cent.
On paper, you are worth $30 million.
But here's what $30 million actually looks like from the inside. 4 hours of sleep, a different location every 3 nights, a phone you replace every 72 hours. Your children are in a school you've never visited because their daily routine is a targeting opportunity. The Clan del Golfo, Colombia's most powerful modern cartel, is watching your territory the way a predator watches something that doesn't know it's already been chosen.
You have everything the 13-year-old version of you dreamed about.
And you are completely, utterly trapped inside it. $10 billion. Not wealth, a parallel economy. Your cocaine moves in semi-submersible vessels through the Pacific, in shipping containers through Buenaventura, in private aircraft through Venezuelan airspace. The operation is so vast, so deeply embedded in legitimate infrastructure that dismantling it wouldn't just hurt the cartel, it would shake Colombia itself. And everyone who should be stopping you knows that. Your face hasn't been photographed in over a decade. You don't make calls, you send people to make calls. You don't give orders, you send people to give orders to people who give orders. 4 layers of human beings exist between your voice and the street. You have corrupted generals, senators, judges on 3 continents. $10 billion. And you cannot spend a single cent of it on the things that actually matter. Your daughter got married last year. You watched it on a phone screen through a shaky live stream from a safe house in the mountains. Your mother's funeral happened without you. 3 confirmed snipers in the surrounding hills made sure of that. You executed your most loyal lieutenant 6 months ago, based on a whisper from a man you trust slightly less than everyone else.
Maybe the whisper was true, maybe it wasn't. At $10 billion, you cannot afford to find out. There are only two endings at this level. A cell in a supermax prison where the United States government will spend decades making sure daylight is a memory, or a Colombian hillside where the only sound after is the silence of men already dividing everything you built. $10 billion. Not a single person on earth you actually trust.
At every rank, the story is the same. The money goes up, the life goes down. The Colombian Cartel didn't build an empire on cocaine. It built it on people. On 13-year-old boys who needed $50. On 16-year-old mullahs who needed to feed their families. On 19-year-old sicarios who normalized the unthinkable, one phone call at a time. Escobar is dead. The Cali cartel collapsed. Every El Patron who ever sat at the top of this machine is either in a concrete box or in the ground. But the machine never stopped running. Right now, today, there is a boy in a Medellin comuna leaning against a wall. A man just walked past and asked him a question. He thinks he's making $50. He doesn't know he just bought a ticket to everything you just watched. The house always wins. And in Colombia, the house is built on a foundation that goes all the way down. Understand the system. See the consequence.